Something that I was saying to myself yesterday, one of those things for me was always like I'm an emotional person, and granted, like I could have regulated my emotions better growing up, but I just didn't know any better, right? But
Right.
something that I used to fear is people seeing my emotions and then thinking that my emotions were too much, right? And
Right.
it would be
I relate
because
to that.
when I allow myself to be vulnerable, it like I feel like people would shut me down. But the thing that I wasn't realizing was one, everybody is not always emotionally available for you. And it's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Some people can't get to those places that I'm trying to go. It doesn't make them bad, or it doesn't say that they don't care or whatever. Like, some people just literally cannot go there. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't change my value. So I walked away thinking that, what I'm saying, being emotional was bad or wrong,
Right.
you know, and I just would therefore hide my emotions. And it got to a point where it was so bad, I didn't know how to identify my emotions at all.
Or when they show up, you explode.
Exactly. And that's why when I said like I couldn't regulate my emotions correctly because I couldn't identify them, and I would just hold
Mm.
them in so much, it would explode out when it would.
Hmm.
I would hold them back, and you can't. Like, emotions aren't meant to be contained or controlled.
Man,
You're supposed to feel
it,
what you feel and allow it to go through you. Deal with it.
man, I relate to that so much. Is that
Yeah,
a thing? I feel like that's a St. Louis thing too. Cause I swear I remember growing up thinking, your feelings don't matter. Don't let them know how you feeling. Be a thug, remain a G about it all.
yeah, yeah. And it manifests in ways that aren't positive because
Right.
we have so many emotions on the inside that we just have not dealt with because we feel like emotions are bad. Like I said, in that
Hmm.
where we were talking, it's just like I couldn't identify them. I didn't know what they were. My
Right.
therapist would be asking me questions like, how does that make you feel? And I'd be like, what are feelings even? Like, like,
Right.
what do you
Because last thing we heard was fuck your feelings. So what is that?
exactly, right? And to be in a place now, because it took me to a breaking point in order for me to understand that there's nothing wrong with me being emotional, but it
Mm-hmm.
is wrong if you try to make your emotions everybody's problem or everybody's
Mm-hmm.
responsibility. Now, that's the issue. But being an emotional person isn't a problem.
That's not wrong. Right.
Yeah, especially if you know how to handle and deal with your emotions. And then when you learn how to accept you on that level, you find other people that can actually go there with you. And then you realize, like, I'm good at, well, you
Man.
gotta realize you good first.
Yeah.
But once you do, you realize, like, like I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm in a place where people like me for me, and I don't have to be scared to show these emotions. One, because I've grown a certain comfort within myself to be able to show it. Because once you lock that part of yourself up for so long, it's hard to just open
To
up.
be open with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So then once you're able to, and then you find people who are actually emotionally available enough to receive the real, you know,
Mm-hmm.
then you realize it's just like, oh, now I can fully be me.
Now I can exist fully for sure.
Exactly.
No weight, no pressure, no judgment.
Yeah. I'm safe to exist. You always,
That's all we be wanting.
yeah. Yeah. That safe space always existed, but it was up to you to find it and actually understand. Like,
Mm.
understanding is one thing, but to be able to understand the fact that you are safe to be you, no matter what, no matter who doesn't like you, no matter who doesn't accept you, no matter what situation that you've been put in, you safe.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to react in a way that is trying to keep you safe. So you can tell those thoughts, like you said, like, I appreciate you trying to keep me safe, but we good.
We good.
We good.
Yeah. And I think sometimes that's easier understood and even understood than done. Well, I think it's easier to understand than understand, depending on your environment. Going back to that conversation, because I don't think I ever would have came to that or understanding had I not moved. because moving required me to be in my own space to really sit with that understanding and to explore those spaces to be safe or feel safe or recognize that I'm safe. Because you walk around this mud, shoe. I feel safe now, but shoe, you still on edge. I still find myself on edge. I feel myself reverting, or I have reverted back to that thing. Me and my friend talk about it and laugh about it, but to be honest, it ain't really a laughing matter. But when you're from St. Louis, you don't know how to relax.
No.
Because everything around you feels like a threat on so many different levels. From your family to your friends to your career to even walking down the street, you could be hit as a pedestrian.
Yep.
Or hit from random gun violence,
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. It's a story. I haven't actually said it. I haven't told this story on the show. And it happened last time that I was in town for the expo. Now, we were in a nice part of the city, right? Because I ain't going to say specifically where I was. But I'm going to tell the story, and I think you can keep up. We were in a nice part of town for the first 2 days. I was there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, left on Monday. So we were in a nice part of town for the first 2 days. Second part, on the last day, we go visit my grandma that lives in the city. And as soon as we get into the city, it's a completely different environment.
Yep.
Completely different. You know what I'm saying? Everything about it is different. It's like you literally flip the switch and you done walked into some type of war zone.
Yep.
And it sounds exaggerated, but I'm kind of not even exaggerating.
Not at all.
Not at all. So we pull up in my grandma's house, and as soon as we get on her street, there's a lady and she's running down the street, looking over her shoulder. And we like, what?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, like, all right, what we finna go into? And it's a dude like right in front of my grandma's house. It's two dudes. And, one of them my dad knows because he done grew up with him. And then the other one we don't know. He just lives across the street and he got a gun in his hand and he's yelling about something. Right? And he's yelling about something and his kids playing on the street. So you can tell that we just drove into something that's like actively happening right now.
Yeah.
So my dad's friend is like telling the kids to get into the house. And then the dude with the gun in his hand is yelling. And then there's another guy that comes around the corner with an AK-47.
Oh my God.
Looking for the girl that's running down the street.
Oh my God.
Luckily, he does not see her. And he goes the other way.
Oh my God. But still, like, you need an AK on the block with some kids.
And like, that's the level. And you know what I'm saying? And when he walked away, everybody just went to things as normal. You know what I'm saying?
When that shit is not normal.
At all. At all. You know what I'm saying? And that's the perfect example of just like the condition.
Yeah.
Because you understand, like, I very much understood, like, this could be a wrong place, wrong time situation. Easily. But at the same time, what do you even do? Right. As much as I know that this is not normal, this is normal.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I get so passionate about the zone. I know I'm not going to be able to help everyone at all.
Yeah.
Like, the zone is meant for the people that want to be in their zone. But that's the type of stuff that should not be happening.
No.
And that really prevents people from being at ease, because you do all this work to understand yourself, find your creative outlet, get into your spaces, just to be in the wrong place in the wrong time. You can't relax.
Right.
So it is important to find them places you can relax and exist, because child.
Yeah. And like I said, it was kids there. So I'm experiencing this as an adult that can process all of the different factors. But, kids that grow up in these places where this is just a reality.
And they don't have the words to really process it.
No. Very interesting. So, you know what I'm saying? It's glad that things like what you created exist. You know what I'm saying? Those safe spaces that people can go through and go to and really explore and find different ways of releasing. You know what I'm saying? Because as much as, negativity that there is in the city, there's also positivity there too. It really is. It's people that are actually trying to make a difference in the city and bring life back into that city. But you know what I'm saying? I think part of the problem is people don't know that these places exist.
Yeah. It's been getting better. It's definitely a lot of good pop ups that be happening in like community organizations like We Power, STL Run Crew, For the Culture, Frizz Fest, even Shorty with his Give Black Ball. Like it's definitely becoming like a place that has something for everyone. And
Right.
it's beautiful that it's ran by Black people too. Like I ain't even gotten to the kids things yet. Only reason why I don't know about all of those is because I don't have kids right now. So, I ain't really thinking about kids. But,
Yeah.
I see them here and there. They got some good programming happening. So at this point, it's just a matter of continued community engagement and like marketing efforts, but it's starting to make a change. You definitely see more Black people moving the needle nowadays,
For
and
sure.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to see St. Louis in this place. But I think I find comfort in that we understand too that this is not going to be no overnight change. It starts with us to influence the next generation, and there's going to be some bullshit still for a minute because it's like I said.
It took generations
But
to get there. It's gonna take generations to get out.
exactly, like you gotta change mindsets for generations, and they putting the kids on in different ways. They get kids active in city politics now. It's getting good.